So let's talk about bread. Because in America, bread is probably one of our favorite foods. But unfortunately, I think eating too much bread is what's making most of us not so healthy. However, I personally believe that bread, in moderation, can be a healthy part of your diet. But it also specifically depends on the brand of bread that you get. Now, often patients come to me and tell me they get this brand and that brand, and I often recommend the better brand. So in this video, I'm going to go over which brands to look for and what to look for in the ingredients of the bread that you choose. So let's begin. Now, I think this is a popular one, Pepperidge Farms. You'll see here it says 100% whole wheat. Now that's a good sign when you are looking for bread. You want to get whole wheat because when you get a whole grain, you're getting the entire grain, which also includes fats, proteins, minerals, vitamins, carbohydrates, all in one. The problem with processed grains is that they're just taking away all the important nutrients and just keeping the carbohydrate. And that's why many of us just eat these empty carbs, and that's what it really is. So in this bread brand, I'll look for ingredients. I see whole wheat flour, that's fine. Water, sugar, wheat gluten. I know gluten gets a very bad reputation because of the celiac disease. So let's keep on going. Vegetable oils, soybean and canola. Now, I don't really like vegetable oils if you find them in bread. It's unfortunately, I think, not the healthiest ingredient. So if you do find breads with those oils, try to look for a better brand. Going through it, molasses, that's another name for sugar, monoglycerides, calcium propionate, sorbic acid, etc. Now, as you see, I start to kind of say a lot of ingredients. That's also not the best sign when you're looking for any food in general. You want to keep things simple. So in this one, there's some preservatives, which I don't really like. I think they could potentially be harmful to our health. There are other things, so not the best, but I do like that it is whole wheat. Now, Dave's Killer Bread is a very popular bread I hear my patients speak about. And honestly, I actually thought it wasn't the best for you, but I looked into the ingredients, and it's a pretty solid bread. It's a pretty killer bread, Dave's Killer Bread. So I do like it. This one in particular is a 21 whole grains. Again, this one has a lot of ingredients, but all these ingredients are different types of grains. And grains, there's different types of grains that we can consume, and they have different nutrient profiles, essentially. But I like it because it doesn't really have added preservatives, doesn't have those seed oils, and it's pretty basic. So this is a solid one. I like this one. Let's go to Arnold, because I think Arnold is a very popular bread brand. I picked out here the 100% whole wheat. Now, I looked into this one. This one isn't terrible for you. It's got whole wheat flour, bulgur wheat, which is another type of grain, sugar, whole wheat, vegetable oil. So it has vegetable oil in it. Again, not the biggest fan. Also has natural flavors. I don't really like natural flavors because it's really synthetic flavoring that they make to have the bread taste a certain way. And if that food can't taste good on its own and they have to add something in there to make it taste good, I'm very cautious and wary of that. But not the worst option, so that's okay. Let's get into 647 bread. This is a very common one I also hear that my patients are eating and consuming, so I wanted to take a closer look and get into the ingredients. This is a potato bread, so I guess potato breads are made with potatoes. However, the problem is, and why potato breads may not be as healthy as whole grain breads, is because they simply extract just the carbohydrate part of the potato or wheat, and that's really all you're getting. You're missing out on all the important other nutrition that comes with the whole grain. So it's got water, wheat starch, and a bunch of ingredients here. I'm seeing seed oils, unfortunately. I'm seeing preservatives, unfortunately. I'm seeing natural flavors. I'm seeing gums. So a lot of stuff in this, I'm not the biggest fan. I think there are better things out there. Again, stay away from preservatives. If you can't really pronounce the name, you may want to stay away from it, just in general. The seed oils you want to stay away from. You'll see something called monoglycerides, diglycerides, another thing you want to stay away from. And also just a very long list of ingredients. So yeah, not the best, I don't think. And again, if you are going to eat bread, try to eat whole grain bread. Now this one is one that I found. I found this one at Whole Foods, stone milled. This one's called One Mighty Mill. And basically this has a bunch of different grains in it. No added preservatives. I don't think there's really added sugar in here. So it's a pretty solid one. And supposedly with the stone grain it keeps more of the nutrition in the grain. So yeah, overall, a general way to pick the right bread is just to find one with less ingredients. Make sure there's no seed oils in it. Make sure there's no preservatives, no added sugar. And if you can get organic, that's good too. Now, I think a good way of thinking about bread is that bread isn't necessarily bad for us. It's just bad if we eat it too much. And unfortunately, in America, we eat bread with most things. Sandwiches is like what we do in America. And every time we have a sandwich, we just have so much bread. And usually that bread is just like a, potato bread or a bread without much nutrition in it. And you're just taking in carbohydrates. So try to eat less bread. If you do eat bread, try to get good brands. And hopefully this video helped you.